Hi, Hyung and Nuna. Welcome back to the channel. This is chapter 2. As Taehan wiped the blood off his face, two figures suddenly lunged at him. Bae Hyuk-soo's friends. One had brown hair and wielded fire-based abilities. The other had green hair and controlled ice. Both of them were skilled, confident, and dangerous. The fire user charged in first, his fist igniting with scorching flames. He threw a blazing punch straight at Taehan. But Taehan moved. With effortless precision, he dodged the attack, the heat grazing past his cheek. And in that instant, bam! Taehan countered with a devastating uppercut, his fist crashing into the fire user's jaw. The impact sent shockwaves through his skull. His body lifted off the ground before slamming back down. Before the ice user could react. Wham! Taehan spun and launched a brutal kick straight into his stomach. The green-haired boy gasped, his breath stolen as he staggered backward, clutching his gut in agony. Taehan stood tall, his eyes cold and unshaken. Taehan began reminiscing about his past. 35 years. Of being an unawakened. A lifetime of struggle. A lifetime of failure. He had done everything he could, from relentless physical training to studying abyss monsters in excruciating detail. He had memorized countless combat techniques, learned the strengths and weaknesses of various skills, and trained his body until it was pushed beyond its limits. And now? There was no way he would lose. To mere thugs, Taehan swiftly took down the thugs, his movements fluid and precise, like a battle-hardened warrior. Each strike landed with deadly accuracy, and before they could even react, their bodies hit the ground one by one. In mere moments, the fight was over. Taehan stood tall, towering over the fallen thugs. And then, he laughed. A menacing, bone-chilling laugh that echoed across the rooftop. As Taehan laughed menacingly, a sudden chill ran down his spine. He could feel it. An immense aura surging behind him. Slowly, Bae Hyuk-soo rose to his feet. But, something was different. His eyes glowed red, and his body was now covered in jagged stone-like armor. His stone skill had been activated. With a monstrous roar, Bae Hyuk-soo lunged forward. He jumped high into the air, his massive stone-covered fist aimed directly at Taehan. Then, boom! His attack slammed into the ground, shattering the rooftop beneath him. Cracks spread like a spiderweb. Dust and debris exploded into the air. But, Taehan was already gone. In an instant, he had dodged. Before Bae Hyuk-soo could react. Wham! Taehan appeared behind him, his fist surging with power. And with one devastating blow, he struck, but Bae Hyuk-soo had anticipated Taehan's attack. The punch landed squarely on his chin. Yet, he didn't even flinch. Instead, he just smirked. It didn't hurt him at all. And before Taehan could react. Bam! Bae Hyuk-soo's stone-covered fist came crashing straight into Taehan's stomach. Taehan's eyes widened. He could feel it. This wasn't just an ordinary punch. It was dangerous. At the last moment, he crossed his arms over his stomach, bracing for the impact. But, crack! The sheer force sent Taehan flying across the rooftop. Until he slammed into a wall, the concrete cracking on impact. Taehan groaned in pain. A warm sensation trickled down his forehead. Blood. It dripped slowly, sliding down his face, stinging his eyes. His body ached, his breath was ragged. Taehan couldn't believe what had just happened. Doubt slowly crept into his mind. Every awakened being possessed a skill. Ranked from F, the lowest, barely above a normal human, to S rank, the pinnacle of power. And Taehan? He had been given an F rank skill. A skill called Predation. Bae Hyuk-soo slowly approached Taehan, his smirk widening as he looked down on him. Helpless. Beaten. Weak. Or so he thought. Just as he was about to speak, he felt it. A chill ran down his spine. Something was wrong. A red, menacing aura began to surge from Taehan's body, growing stronger with every passing second. Bae Hyuk-soo's eyes widened in shock. What is this? He muttered, taking a hesitant step back. On the ground, Taehan slowly pushed himself up, his body trembling. Not from pain, but from something else. Taehan lifted his hand, staring at it in disbelief. Even he didn't know what was happening. His heart pounded as the ominous aura wrapped around him, crackling with raw power. "What is this?" Taehan whispered, his voice laced with both awe and something far more dangerous. With blood streaming down his face, Taehan locked eyes with Bae-hyuk-soo. Bae-hyuk-soo didn't hesitate. He lunged forward at blinding speed, determined to end this fight before Taehan could react. But then, something happened. As Taehan raised his hand, the ominous red aura surging from his body moved on its own. It lunged at Bae-hyuk-soo. It shifted, twisted, taking form. A form so monstrous, so horrifying, it was impossible to describe. It was not human. Not beast. Not even a demon. It was as if hell itself had taken shape. And it was hungry. Their attacks collided. A clash of raw power. Neither moves an inch. Power against power. Skill against skill. The victor would not be the strongest, but the one chosen by fate. The sheer impact of their clash shook the rooftop. Bae-hyuk-soo's armor shattered. He staggered back, eyes wide in disbelief. The stone skill he had once taken pride in, his ultimate defense, was completely destroyed. By a power he couldn't understand. By a force beyond anything he had ever faced. A red pillar of energy erupted into the sky, roaring like a storm and tearing through the air with violent shockwaves. The sheer force of it rattled the surroundings, shaking the very foundation beneath them. The battle had reached its peak. With overwhelming power, Taehan defeated Bae-hyuk-soo. Bae-hyuk-soo collapsed, unconscious, his stone skill vanishing into nothing. Then, suddenly, a cold, eerie notification appeared before Taehan's eyes. Predation is complete, your rank is changed to E, a new skill has been added, stone skin has been registered. Taehan stared at the message, his heart pounding. This was just the beginning. Hyungan Nuna. Please subscribe to my channel, it really helps a lot.